Shining bright lotus. Shining bright lotus, Rinzai Zen lineage. Gautama Shakyamuni, Mahakashyapa Muni, Ananda Muni, Shanavasa Muni, Upagupta Muni, Dritaka Muni, Mishaka Muni, Vasu Mitra Muni, Buddha Nandi Muni, Buddha Mitra Muni, Parsva Muni, Panya Yasa Muni, Arsva Gosha Muni, Kapi Mala Muni, Nagarjuna Muni, Kana Deva Muni, Rahulata Muni, Sangha Nandi Muni, Gayasata Muni, Kumararata Muni, Jayata Muni, Vasu Bandhu Muni, Manurita Muni, Hakle Naisa Muni, Arja Sima Muni, Basia Sita Muni, Punya Mitra Muni, Prajna Tara Muni, Puti Daimo Chanchi, Dazu Hueke Chanchi, Janshi Shenkan Chanchi, Dai Daoshin Chanchi, Daman Hangren Chanchi, Daijan Hueneng Chanchi, Nanhui Hairang Chanchi, Mazu Dai Chanchi, Baizang Hui Hai Chanchi, Huangbo Ji Yun Chanchi, Linchi Yishuan Chanchi, Jingguao Kunjan Chanchi, Nanhuan Hui Yang Chanchi, Feng Shui Quan Chao Chanchi, Shao Shan Jingrin Chanchi, Feng Yang Shan Zhao Chanchi, Shi Shuang Trei Yang Chanchi, Yang Qi Feng Yi Chanchi, Bai Yun Shao Duan Chanchi, Wu Zu Fai Yan Chanchi, Yuan Yu Kei Zhen Chanchi, Hui Green Xiao Long Chanchi, Yin Gao Tan Hui Chanchi, Mian Jin Xiao Chanchi, Shangguan Chang Hui Chanchi, Yunnan Puyan Chanchi, Zhu Tang Ji Chanchi, Nan Po Shou Myo Zenji, Shi Ho Myo Cho Zenji, Kanzan Igen Zenji, Jio Shushoto Zenji, Myun Shoin Zenji, Nippon Soshun Zenji, Giten Gensho Zenji, Seiko Sojin Zenji, Toyo Echo Zenji, Taiga Tankyo Zenji, Koho Genkyun Zenji, Senso Shouzo Zenji, Ion Chisatu Zenji, Tozon Soshin Zenji, Yozon Kyo Zenji, Gudo Tosuku Zenji, Shido Bunan Zenji, Dokyo Iton Zenji, Hakoin Ikaku Zenji, Tore Enji Zenji, Gasan Jitu Zenji, Tokuju Kosen Zenji, Soshon Genkyo Zenji, Kasan Zenryo Zenji, Sohan Genyo Zenji, Genpo Giyu Zenji, Soon Genju Zenji, Aido Sotai Roshi, Junpo Kandu Roshi, throughout the 10 directions and the 3 times, all matriarchs, all patriarchs, all awakened ones, venerable ones, compassionate ones, great ones, rely upon this incomparable, transcendent wisdom. Zazen on Qingting Mountain by Li Bo. The birds have vanished down the sky. Now the last cloud drains away. We sit together, the mountain and me, until only the mountain remains. We gather together today to honor Dennis Kelly, Junpo Kondo Roshi. Let us remember his life and let us celebrate a life well lived.
Verses on the faith of mind. The way is perfect, like vast space. There's no lack and no excess. Awakening is to go beyond both emptiness as well as form. All changes in this empty world seem real because of ignorance. The great way is without limit, beyond the easy and the hard. Just let go now of the clinging mind, and all things are just as they are. In essence, nothing goes or strays. To seek great mind with the thinking mind is certainly a grave mistake. If mind does not discriminate, all things are as they are, as one. When all is seen with a mind of equality, we return to our most intimate nature. When the mind is fully with the way, all egocentric striving cease. Doubts and confusion disappear, and so faith pervades our life. There is nothing that clings to us and nothing that is left behind. In this true world of emptiness, both self and other are no more. The way is beyond all space, all time, one instant in 10,000 years. Not only here, not only elsewhere. Truth is right before your very eyes. One thing is all things are one. Know this, and all is whole and complete. When faith and the mind are not separate, this very reality is beyond all words, all thought. For here there is no yesterday, no tomorrow, no today.
Purification. All of the deluded behavior ever manifested by me because of my beginningless greed, anger, and ignorance, born of my body, speech, and mind, through meditation and action, I now confess and purify. 3 refuges. I take refuge in the absolute purity of this awakened mind. I take refuge in this practice of pure, selfless awareness, wisdom, compassion, and skillful means. I take refuge in this awakening community and our realization in the truth of the interconnection, interpenetration, and interdependency of all sentient and insentient beings everywhere.
Chant of boundless compassion. Absorbing world sounds awakens a Buddha right here. This Buddha, the source of compassion, this Buddha receives only compassion. Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, just compassion. Thus the pure heart always rejoices in the light. Recall this. In the dark, recall this. Moment after moment, the true heart arises. Time after time, there is nothing but this.
Thank you all for being here. We will sit together in council and offer anyone who has an opportunity, anyone who'd like to share reflections on thoughts of Junpo, their relationship with Junpo, or the impact of Junpo on their life. This would be the time to share. We just sit back in council and we wait. And if you'd like to speak, you just open the mic. And when you are complete, you just bow and that we know you're done. And it's space in between each speaker is encouraged.
I'll say something. So, yeah, when you said about counsel and sharing about Jumpo, yeah, just the image came to my mind of when I did Laya therapy training with him. We were students together, and the training would often happen at weekends over a period of 2 years. And sometimes we would have 5 days and we'd do Zazen, and he'd teach us all Zazen. And it wasn't it wasn't about Zen particularly, but he was the guy. So he taught us Zazen. And I remember him, he loved to cook food. So he'd cook food and he'd always bring everybody together. And that was my experience of him then and ongoing. He would always kind of bring us all together, and there'd be sometimes difficulties or tussles, but we'd have fun. And so I appreciate that ongoing sense of bringing us all together. And he was always there for me. I'd be away a while, but he'd always be welcoming. And so in that spirit, I thank him and thank us all here, because he's brought us together and continues through us. So, and with that, I'm in. Thank you, Jumpo. Thank you, thank you.
I'll go. Mingpo, Jumpo. Oh, what a beautiful, beautiful man. Oh, I met him here in Boulder, Colorado. He and I were both in the Mankind Project at the time, but I had never met him. And I'd been working with Do Shin, his Roshi in Denver, and we were friends. And I saw him in at a bookstore, and I went up to him and said, "I want to talk to you about this issue in the Mankind Project," and blah, blah, blah. And we kind of went nose to nose, eye to eye, and he got a big smile on his face, and I started melting. And he said, "Would you like to sit down and have a tea?" And I said, "Oh, absolutely, of course." And it just shifted me out of this place of confrontation. And we sat for an hour or more just kibitzing like we were the friends that had been long last, and we came together. He had that kind of uplifting energy. And so I had always loved him because his background and my background getting to Zen has some similar things, so I always identified with him. So when I met him, I thought, well, I'm his equal, and by the end I was bowing. Thank you. And I'm in.
I looked through a lot of photos of Junpo the last couple of days, and there's always, he definitely liked fine food and he loved mushrooms. And so now it's hard to not notice mushrooms when we, for eating. When we walk around, today there was a big pile of mushrooms outside the wood pile, and I don't know enough about mushrooms, but I always think if Jimpo around, he would be able to let me know which ones we'd be eating. And most retreats we ended by having him serve us some sort of wild mushrooms, and it was always like, how did he figure that out so quickly? I thought he was running the show. But as soon as the retreat ended, he would take a march out in the woods and just had that uncanny ability to bring food, which is what Nanda shared, that particular feature of Junpo. And just, basically loved life and brought a lot to it. And it's good to honor his memory and see his teachings filter with all these new faces who may not have had a chance to meet with him or have direct contact, but his memory lives on in all these folks who are now taking on this teaching and bringing it to others. So it's a living blessing.
So I didn't know the man personally. I don't have any interface with an actual energetic experience except through these practices, the particular form of these practices, the morning service, Uh, the way the lineage is being carried on. It strikes me that the stories I do have are kind of like this is what legends are made of. Kind of like a comet bursts in the world, and the rest of it is people's experience of that rather than what actually happened. But I feel gifted to have read both of the books that he seems to have channeled from his personal experience, and that's good. I like his story. I'm impressed with where he came from, and where he ended up, and what he wound up doing with a very old, what would have been kind of a little bit too stale, too disciplined, too remote from life kind of beautiful philosophy, and turned it into a living, breathing way to, like step into embodiment in the 21st century. And, acknowledge that, Roshi's carrying that on, and everybody in their own way. It's amazing. And I particularly love my only personal connection with him is that I am quite certain that on a summer night in 1972, I was lucky enough to have an experience with his mind expanding product that he was so excellent at marketing. And I still remember that night. It was quite different than even most of those many nights. So, hey, that's what I've got for my real connection with him. But he kind of lives in my brain there. I was 16, 17 years old. I mean, he had an impact on me. Little did I know where I'd wound up at 70. Back, in a more grounded way, let's say. So thank you. I'm in with that.
I'll chime in here. Um, yeah, I've 2002 was my first introduction with Junpo for my first ever session for an 8-day silent retreat. So I was just coming off of Mankind Project, only 2 years in of doing my work. So yeah, it was a scary sight of this big presence in front of me, holding space, both in tradition and love. So the second time I saw him was on another retreat in 2004. So I sat with him twice. He being a leader, and it was enough to definitely plant a seed. I was still doing my own work through MKP and learning, but the seed was strong enough that I'm still showing up today. So I'm grateful for that. A lot of presence, a lot of gifts in that man of gold. So definitely grateful for that.
I appreciate everybody's comments. It just seems like when I hear people speak, it all seems so familiar. It's like this experience that he was able to give us. It feels very unique. I think I approached Junpo for the first time from a pretty intellectual uh, point of view, and I felt like there were these questions that I'd had all my life. And when we finally got to sit and talk about it, it was like the first person who'd ever said, "Yeah, okay, you got it," and left me feeling like I was on the right track, and that it was all good. And I think I'd take every opportunity to be able to say thank you because it just changed my life. Man.
Think as Richard said, I never had an experience live with Junpo, but I have engaged a lot recently through text with Junpo, through both the book about his life and Mondo Manual um, and the book about Mondo. But more importantly, I think through the community, and I'm struck by the power of not only the teaching and his story, which is quite riveting, really, but but by the ability for and the power, I guess, of the practice and of the teaching um, to be transmitted through so many people in so many different contexts. You know, just really, really grateful for the community and for a sort of centering source of that here. So appreciate all of you, because that wouldn't be without you all here and others who aren't here.
Ten phrase life prolonging sutra. Kanzeon, devotion to Buddha, being one with Buddha in infinity, with all Buddhas and with Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. Our true nature is eternal, joyous, selfless and pure. Chant every morning Kanzeon with Nen, every evening Kanzeon with Nen. Nen, Nen arises from mind. Nen, Nen is not separate from mind. En mei juku kanon gyo. Kanzeon namu butsu yo butsu in yo butsu en bopo so en jo raku ga jo chonen kanzeon bonen kanzeon nen nen jushin ki nen nen purishin kanzeon namu butsu yo butsu en yo butsu en bopo so en jo raku ga jo chonen kanzeon bonen kanzeon nen nen jushin ki nen nen furishin kanzeon namu butsu en yo butsu en bopo so en jo raku ga jo chonen kanzeon bonen kanzeon nen nen jushin ki nen nen furishin.
Four awakened vows. However innumerable all beings are, I vow to serve and liberate them all. However deep and elusive my shadow states are, I vow to experience and enlighten them all. However vast and difficult true teachings are, I vow to embody and master them all. However endless my true path may be, I vow to awaken and follow forever. Four seated bows.
Thus shall thee think of all this fleeting world, a star at dawn, a dew point in the morning sun, a bubble in a mountain stream, a flash of lightning in a summer cloud, a flickering lamp, a shadow, a phantom, a dream, and they are thus to be regarded. When Buddha finished this discord, the Venerable Sabatthi and all the attending were filled with joy by his teachings, and taking it seriously to heart, they went their separate ways. Swaha.
Shining bright lotus.